ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Report to the People. I am Geri Patterson, and I'm so glad you tuned in today. Today, my guest, Asadah Kirkland, the Soulful Chicago Book Fair. Another book fair is coming up. Welcome again,
Thank
Asadah.
you. I'm glad to be here.
We are so glad. We're so
Yes.
glad you're here.
Good.
And as we promised, to have you back.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe, ladies and gentlemen, she's going to have to come back even more because in this short period of time, we still cannot discuss all of that we discussed before. You were here with Mother Helen
Yes.
Sinclair,
Mm-hmm.
the chaplain from our prisons here in Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
And your book, she is an author, ladies, and she's an educator and an author. Beating Black Kids. So what have you to beat them with?
What have you been beat with? That's what I want to know. Like, we have our own experiences, each individual. People sometimes look at that book and they look at the object on the bottom and they go, oh, I was beat with all this. And I'm like, oh, really? Like, we have a psychosis where we think that's normal, but it's actually not normal. So we need to work that out.
We do think it's normal. There's a shoe on there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a ruler. My first unpleasant experience, I remember being unjustly spanked on my hands with a ruler from my first grade teacher.
Yeah.
She was wrong. She was out of the room chit-chatting with another teacher, and the noisy kids were just having a ball. And my sister and I were painfully shy. We didn't talk. We wouldn't even talk to a mouse. She came in, the kids said, they did. They knew we wouldn't open our mouths.
Mm.
And like a nut, Mrs. Sullivan came in and spanked us with a ruler. So I may take a shoe, something else, a strap, anything, a wooden spoon, and whip children with. Spank them, but not with a ruler because I had bad memories about a ruler.
Mm-hmm.
Even my dad would take a pencil if we got something wrong, a word, teaching us to read. He'd tap us with a pencil.
Mm-hmm.
My mother would say, don't do that. That was okay.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many things. We think that it's okay because my mother did it, my father did it, their parents did it, so we're passing down wrong information. When my favorite book, the Bible, says pass down instruction from generation to generation, it wasn't talking about beating them.
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, I think also, you have an intention as an adult.
Yes.
You think you want to teach somebody something. You think you want to, but your intention is not the same as the physical effect to the body. Like, while the intention is to do something like teach, you're actually killing cells. If you leave a mark on that child or a bruise comes about or anything, a bruise is a symbol of cells that have died away.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, right.
And so that's not small. And so you're doing this damage to them physically, right? But more so mentally. When a child thinks to, why isn't she asking me? Like, you all were children in that class, knowing that you didn't do anything, and you're saying to yourself, why isn't she asking us? Or
That's right.
why isn't she doing any research to see? There's so
We
many
shook
children
our
that just
heads
fall.
and said no.
Right.
But she still didn't.
She still did it. So I'm just saying that's what a lot of adults do. And so they lash out, they hit first. I don't care if it's first, second, third, last resort. It shouldn't have happened.
That's right.
Because your intelligence level should be enough that as an adult, if a child has a misbehavior, there's a reason for the misbehavior. So you go and you find out what it is, because sometimes it's something you should know and not the Band-Aid of hitting a child. So, your intention, our intentions as adults, we need to check that because it doesn't match what's actually happening.
That's
Right. I hit him because I love him. And I'm like, that doesn't work.
It doesn't
because
work.
if I love you, if I punch you, that's not an expression of that. And then also kind of skewed let's say a man is hitting his daughter to show him I love her, I want to show her. She's going to choose a man that potentially hits her. That's just a reality.
And that happens. That's been a proven fact. It's not that she set out to look for a man exactly like her father, but those little seeds were planted,
Yes.
and they're there. Oh, this man says he loves me.
Mm-hmm.
He loves me. He's just like my father. when he gets angry with me, he wants to shove me, push me, uh, degrade me verbally.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just like my father
Yeah,
did. I
interesting.
didn't mean to choose a man like that.
Oh yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
But, and I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, our advocates did come and stand up for us. Our parents.
Nice.
They came up to talk to the teacher. She really didn't hit anybody else.
Mm.
She didn't spank anybody else. She just talked to them.
Mm.
So
Interesting.
there can be negative and positive reactions with punishment.
Of course.
When there are 5 negative things I've learned, ladies and gentlemen. There's a book called Learning Behavior by Paul Chance.
Okay.
And there's a chapter in there on punishment and how it really can be derogatory for your child.
Yeah, I don't believe in it.
Mhm.
I'm not into punishment. I'm not into
There are
disciplining
better
kids.
ways.
Yeah, because people say, well, how else am I to discipline my child? And I'm like, first of all, why do we think that children just need to be disciplined all the time? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, they're just human beings that just exist in the world, but they're not animals. They're not wild animals that you have to tame. There's not always this thing where you have to discipline them. All you have to do is have a conversation about it. Usually not too late. Usually the conversation is coming too late. Like, oh my God, he touched the stove.
2, 3 years old, even 1 year old is not too early.
No, they
This
can
person
comprehend.
asked you, how do I? They don't know. They're asking you. As an educator, you're teaching them.
That's all.
You're teaching
Even
them
if-
there is a better way.
Yes, indeed.
So as a young person, you start off little, young,
Mm-hmm.
teaching them the best way to go and the wrong way.
Yeah.
So many of us, like we've been taught, well, Proverbs said, spare the rod, spoil the child. Well, we have to really study and learn what those scriptures mean. It does not mean actually beating your child. There's some translations that may say, beat your child, they won't die. Ladies and gentlemen.
Girl, y'all don't even say that.
There's a translation. So, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen.
translation for sure, because we
Yes,
have to
in
the
the
Bible,
scripture.
yeah, of the scripture.
So learn what it really means.
Yeah.
There are people that can teach you, like Asadah Kirkland in her book, Beating Black Kids. It'll even tell you the things that will happen, the negative things from beating your children. We don't care if it's handed down from slavery time all the way down to 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So the problems with punishment, especially physical punishment, one of them is escape.
Mm-hmm.
That child is going to, or adult. What's that man's name in the news? That was a liar. That's I can't think. I don't look too much at all this stuff with Donald Trump, but he's trying to get out of punishment. So what is he doing? Trying to escape. Well, how do people escape? How do our children escape? Okay, let me avoid my parent.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to escape from punishment, just from their look at me of, aggression.
But can I say this about punishment first? I think it's just really
Please.
important.
That's why you're here.
Punishment is just whack. That's New York. It's whack. Like, stop. No, punishment, who does that really service? I know as a parent, it doesn't feel good to bestow punishment on my child or on my students. Like, emotionally, you don't feel good delivering a punishment, number one. Number two, that punishment, that pain, in terms of receiving something, if you think about the things in life that you really looked at and you wanted to emulate and be like, it wasn't through punishment. It was through admiration. It was
Positive.
it was like, oh, I like that. I want to be like that, right? So punishment just does a disservice, I think, to both parties, because it may make a person fearful to not do a misdeed again, but it's not really teaching the why it wasn't appropriate or
That's
something like
right.
that. If the child does something that is inappropriate, then have a discussion with them that it was inappropriate, and not, oh, Johnny, was it inappropriate? No. Usually we're
Explain
wise after the
why.
fact, right? So if a 3-year-old goes to a plug to plug something in, the reason they're doing that is because you do it every day. You plug in your phone, you plug in the light, you plug in all these electrical things, you plug in the
But
vacuum
not your
cleaner.
finger.
But they don't know. They just want to see how in the world does a hole in the wall make that work. And so you have to have the conversation with the child and say, come here, let me show you something. This is a plug. See that hole? In there will make this, but if you put your finger in there, you'll get burnt. Or just explain it, and they won't want to try it
We can
because
show
nobody
them
likes
on
that pain.
YouTube today.
Sure, that's
We
fine.
don't have to have them experience, but we can show them on YouTube.
Or to yeah, we
Somebody
don't.
got shot.
You want the child to see somebody get electrocuted? Child, I ain't saying all that. Look,
Right, but if they see it on YouTube and it's not funny, and we see a fire star, we can explain to our children that that's not good.
but they'll get it if you
Yes.
just take them to the plug. You just take them to the plug, and they'll get it. You put your finger in there. It's not for fingers. You will actually get burned, blood, burn, whatever. And they will make a decision not to use it anymore. Go to it. Same thing with the stove. Take them to the stove. Let them help you turn the knob. Most knobs they can't even turn now anyway because you have to push them and turn them.
So.
But the point is, when you take them, my daughter, I showed her how to do it when she was like 3, 2.5, 3. And then as she got older, I would tell her to turn on the stove, and she would tell me, I'm not ready yet. Or they'll tell you, but they already know, right, what it is. And so I think a lot of times the kids are going out of curiosity to try these things because they see us do it, but we never taught them beforehand. So you get a person who's just doing trial and error. And our children don't have to live life trial and error if we are teaching them along the way.
It should not be trial and error.
Yeah, which
so
is most
one
things.
of the things you say is conversation.
Yeah, have a conversation.
Communicating with them. Help them to understand and see. The next thing I was going to say, one of the problems of punishment is aggression. We see so many teenagers, and I say 13 and up, even 12, maybe younger, that are so aggressive. Anger. That too comes from the punishment that they're receiving.
But it's in the music too. Like it's in the culture.
Yes,
Aggression is a part of American culture in 2019. We used to watch Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley. There was not aggression in those shows. But when you have shows that are reality shows with it beeping out people cursing and fighting, and like that is what we are dealing with. Video games do it, Mortal Kombat, like whatever it is. So aggression is a part of society. And so you have to kind of bring something to counter that to the scene. You understand? Because aggression is going to come from punishment. Aggression is in TV. Aggression is in the video games. And so that's an emotion now that our children embody. But we have to counterbalance that with something that brings that calm. And so you can't be a little bit more of what is the problem, what the problem is. Be more of a solution where they can sit down for a minute and talk. They can laugh. They can experience experience emotions that aren't that. And that's how you counter that.
And when we reason with them, there's a scripture that says, "Come, let us sit and reason together." So when we're talking with our young children, we're teaching them to use their sense of reasoning.
Yeah.
We're helping them to develop. When we don't use that, we are abusing them.
Oh, yeah, and of course you got a lot of people who don't like to call it abuse. They'll say, you crazy, that ain't no abusing child. A child should be seen and not heard. And we got all of that.
That's abuse too.
Right, but
let them express themselves.
We weren't raised like that. Black people weren't raised like that. We were raised with children should be seen and not heard.
Most of you all were.
I'm right, and I'm not. And then we say, I'm not negotiating with no child, right? But all I'm saying is that in 2019, when there's so much they can learn, early, they're more advanced than us. I just read about an 11-year-old who opened a coffee shop. 11-year-old. So I'm just saying, in this time, if you're going to use archaic ways to raise them, then you better be ready for the outcome of that. But if you're going to use reasoning and intellect and peace and focus and civility and certainty to raise your child, they're going to come up a little more powerful, and their ability level will be higher than a child who is submissive and scared to talk because they've been yelled at and hit over and over. So you have to make a decision what you want your future to look like, because they'll also be the one to propel the future of the family. Do they have the skills to do that? That's depending on what you do as a parent.
That's so important. They will propel the future of not themselves,
the
whole family. The
Mm-hmm.
parents that are allowing them the space to excel, and the whole family.
Yeah. And it's a learned thing, because if the parents didn't experience it, they don't know how to do it. And so it's an agreement that the entire family has to come to about communicating well, doing things together, and being engaged with each other. That's a new phenomenon for us.
It is, and we have to learn, and the resources are out there to learn, because our children imitate us.
Sure.
All this aggressiveness, behavior, the abuse, and when they grow up and do the same with their children, they're only imitating what they learn from us.
Yeah.
Psychologically, emotionally, physically.
Yeah.
So we can change that, can't we?
Of course. I mean, it's a decision.
Make a decision.
It's a decision to really look at what you want your future to be.
All right, so I don't have to threaten the little children. I'm not saying a word. I'm not threatening them. I just have this spoon here. I'm not threatening them. So if I just have this, that they will behave, right?
I always say to adults, raise your skills and not your hands to discipline kids. And if you are picking up items to hit little children with, your skills are very low. That's how I feel about that. If you want to display higher skills, then you have a conversation with somebody else. They're smaller than you, but they have a mind. And you just have a conversation and ask them, why'd you do that? Help me understand that. And they'll answer. But if you have to pick up an item to hit them, low skills.
Okay, so maybe I should show off my skills more. Come on, child, come into my kitchen. Let me take this spoon.
Yeah, go
and
cook
show
with
you.
that.
Yes, let me show you how to whip up something. What whipping really means, and beating. Let me beat some eggs.
Beat some eggs, baby, please.
Beat some cake and cookie batter. That will help. That would be better, right?
Use that for what it was made for.
Okay.
It wasn't made to hit kids with. It was made to cook with.
Cook with.
Yeah, and that's something that the parent has to know.
All right. So thanks for teaching me that. And now I can pass that on to the children.
Sure.
So where can they get your book?
Oh, sure. The book can be gotten on our website, beatingblackkids.com. And that's 2 Ks between the black and the kids. Beatingblackkids.com. You can also go to Amazon. It's on Amazon as well.
All right. And so you can up your skills, parents.
That's right. Raise your skills and not your hands.
And help this next generation live well, much better. Now, Asadah, Soulful Chicago Book Fair. This is something you have twice a year or 3 times a year?
What's so funny, first of all, let me just say, I never really said thank you for having me on for Women's History Month. I think that's
Yes,
awesome.
this is Women's History Month.
Yeah.
And we are women.
And I'm honored because Chicago's not my home. I just moved here. Of course, you can hear the accent, New York. But I just moved here in 2014, but a lot has occurred since then. So our first Soulful Chicago Book Fair was July 16th of 2016. And it was this big fair. It's like 4 city blocks long. It brings black writers in. I think we had like 3,000 people attend, right? So cool. So I'm like, woo, it's over. But people started saying, so when's the next one? And I was like, what? But we then had a holiday book fair, a Kwanzaa book fair, right, that following December. Then we had a Black History book fair after that. Then it was back to the regular fair. Then we had the Chicago Public Libraries asked us to replicate the book fair in the Harold Washington Library downtown. Yes. And so they gave us like 4,000 square feet of space to recreate it. It was amazing. And so we've had, I think we're on our 9th book fair now because we do them throughout the year. Like we have a children's book fair coming up in April.
April what?
April 13th.
April 13th.
It's a children's book fair at Butler College Prep. That's on 104th in Maryland, right across from the Pullman Porter Museum.
All right.
Yeah.
Great place to have it.
Yep.
Across from the Pullman Porter Museum.
And it's in a high school. It's in Butler College Prep.
All
and
right.
it's going to be wonderful. And I mean, it's literally 50 black writers.
April 13th.
And I'm talking about black children from infant to teen. There'll be books for all of them there.
All right. So parents, come out. Bring your children.
You'll love it.
Yes, you'll love it. April 13th. And then the next one after then will be...
The big one will be August 3rd.
August 3rd.
Yeah, we usually have it the 3rd weekend in July, as you can see, right? But everybody and their mother has a funeral. They have family reunions. They have everything.
I'm so glad.
The 3rd week in July. It's even events, the VON. So we said we're going to move the event to August because there's virtually nothing in August. That came from a suggestion by Dwayne Powell, my favorite
Very
DJ.
good,
But,
because
so
July
August.
is my birthday month. This coming July will be our 50th wedding anniversary.
Wow.
Thank
Cool.
you.
Okay,
so
cool.
if you need marital advice, you can see us. You can see me. Been
See
there.
her. Well,
done that.
been there,
yes,
done that.
I'll give you good advice.
Cool.
One young man asked me, "You've been married to the same man?
Did he say that? Oh,
50
God.
years?" He said, I said, "Come see me. You need to come see me." So,
Oh, that's good.
and I said, "Send your wife because I have secrets to tell her, to teach her."
Oh, fabulous.
Yes,
Good.
things that that just she and I will share.
Yes.
On how to keep you, how to stay with you.
Preservation.
That's right, it's preservation. How you can still stay hot and be all that for the same man for 50 years.
Look, I heard somebody say, my spiritual mother used to say, just because it's snow on the rooftop doesn't mean there's no fire in the furnace.
That's right. That's what they say. That's what the blues artists sing too. All that is so true.
That's so funny.
And as I heard someone saying, Lori Bell, that plays the harmonica and sings, he sings in a songs that his daddy told him that he was talking to his wife, baby, please be good to me, because you don't want another queen coming sitting in your place.
Oh my.
I'm like, oh dear.
Oh my.
This is the only queen that's going to be in
that
Mr.
space.
Patterson's
Well,
place.
see, here's the thing about that. See, the stories, there's stories that are in us.
Yes.
That's really what the book fair is about. It's about capturing our stories according to us, because we have a lot of people who say things about us and we're not happy about it in the media. Good, we'll do something about it. I literally had a local bookstore tell me that our books that we have at the book fair are not really the books that they carry. So fabulous, because this is ours. So we do what we want. We tell our stories according to us. And a lot of the authors are independent authors, and they say that either stores won't have them, book fairs won't have them. Guess what? We will.
Yes,
we will take you,
have
honey.
A
Let's go.
website or Facebook?
Of course.
What
So
is it?
Soulful ChicagoBookFair.com.
All right.
Yeah, soulful as in not soul food, guys, but the soulful. SOU, Soulful ChicagoBookFair.com. And yeah, they can go there and see what the next events are. They can see past pictures. If we still have a few spaces for the Children's Book Fair, people can register there if they want, make donations. We even take donations in Bitcoin on the website, all of that.
Bitcoin, that's our next subject.
Yeah.
You are also, you spoke of telling our stories. I've met so many people, our grand citizens, not our senior citizens, our grand citizens. 99 years old, 98 years old, 100 years old, 104, Mr. Leonard Goodman, that are still active. They have stories to tell. I want to get them all together to present their stories on this show, Report to the People show. And some of them have books.
Temuel Black.
Temuel Black just made 100 in 2018.
And
Professor Temuel Black.
That's right. And he's on his third book just came out. It's called Sacred Space.
Sacred Space.
Yes, it's a book of memoirs. Yeah, no, Sacred Ground.
Sacred Ground.
Sacred Ground. It's his book of memoirs. That's his third book. The first two books are about the Black migration to Chicago. The first Black migration and the second one. So we actually have an essay contest named after him in the book fair. It's a Temuel Black essay contest, and the children have to interview their oldest living relatives and then do an essay that reflects the role of their family in Chicago history.
Parents, you heard that. Get involved. Get your children involved. There are some prizes for them.
Oh, and the prizes are, there's a clothing store out here called DTLR.
All right.
/ Villa, it used to be called. Well, it's a sports store. They're giving us 50 door prizes for these people that come in, our first 50 patrons.
Great.
And they're giving like $200, $300 gift cards to the essay contest winners.
All right. That. And
DTLR.
we want you to save that money, invest it in Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Invest their money in Bitcoin. So that is wonderful. You're helping one of our seniors, 90, she's almost 99, to write her memoirs.
Write her book, that's right.
Yes. So I want you to, I'm going to get the other older people. I know you're busy, but you're going to help them write their stories too.
Busy people are the best people to ask to do things. Let me say that. If somebody tells you that they're too busy, that means they don't want to do it. Because busy people, we actually find time to do whatever we want to do.
And it's not that we can't, we don't
always
know
do it.
when or how to say no. Some people accuse us of not being able to turn down things. I can turn down what I can't
just
do.
just tell a person you can't do it.
So
but
you can do it.
Other than that, always ask a busy person to help, because that's why we're busy.
All right.
We make things happen.
So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching Report to the People show. I'm Geri Patterson with Asadah Kirkland, Soulful Book Fair.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Looking for a qualified used car? Consider Patterson Circle R, towing and recovery. Everything you need to get on the road. Towing, used car sales, 24-hour emergency services. Listen. Foreign cars, domestic cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans. All of this is available at Auto Sales there at 10106 South Michigan Avenue here in Chicago. That's 10106 South on Michigan Avenue. And that telephone number is area code 773-785-2600. Family owned and operated, serving Chicago for over 40 years. What more can you ask? Patterson Circle R Towing and Recovery Services.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Report to the People. We are almost out of time, but Asadah will be back. Because we have to do a whole segment on this. The Bitcoin. Tell us what that is.
Sure. So my goal is I have a lot of ideas. I've executed a lot of them. They all take money. The book fair takes like almost $100,000 to do, right? So I want to have my own revenue to help support that. Grants and stuff are fine. But I really didn't know how I was going to get that type of revenue. But with Bitcoin, I've actually generated that type of revenue. It is a currency. It's digital. You know how you have a peso, a euro, whatever.
Yes.
Well, this is a currency, but it's global. Now, because a peso's Mexico, euros, Europe. But Bitcoin, you could spend it in New York, in Botswana, in Paris, in Spain. So you can anywhere. Cuba, anywhere, right? You can spend a Bitcoin. So the key is not only to have a money that you can use around the world, it's digital, so nobody can rob you, but the value. Like yesterday, a Bitcoin was like $3,800 for one coin. So if you got 2 coins, and that value goes up to $19,000 because it's getting ready to go to $25,000 a coin. That's because the big boys are coming in. JP Morgan Chase just started their own coin. So we're talking about a space that we have to become aware of. It is not it's a money of tomorrow, but it's being used now. You can buy cars with it, airline tickets with it. I do a presentation every Monday and Thursday showing you how to grow it. And I show you like the companies that are using Bitcoin, that accept Bitcoin. So it is the new money. It is our children's money. Okay. It's something that we're just learning about, but our offspring will be using it regularly. The cartoons talk about it. You hear them talk about Bitcoin there. There's movies about it. So it's here to stay, and I want our people to use it because you make money faster with Bitcoin.
And this monetary system is going to collapse.
Well, yeah, but look at what they're doing. Look at cash. Most people will tell you, I don't carry cash around. There's Cash App, there's direct deposit, there is a debit card. So we do digital transactions. Now they're getting ready to just phase out what we're used to, that paper.
Yes.
That's called fiat money, and then you're going to see Bitcoin take a bigger space. So if you have some Bitcoin already, if you make $1 million in regular money right now, the IRS will come and try to take it. If you make $1 million in Bitcoin right now, nobody can see it except you. And it will just grow as Bitcoin grows. So that's the difference in having it, that it grows. It can decrease as well, but $25 today that I give you can turn to $50 tomorrow real easy if it's Bitcoin. And so those are it's a better space for us to be in financially as a people, because if they cut our funding, we don't care about that.
When
we got
they
Bitcoin.
Cut our
look,
funding,
when they
not
cut
if,
it,
when.
look, who cares? We got Bitcoin. We can pay for it. We got
Okay.
thousands of our own, and that's the game that we need to be playing.
And how can a person find out?
They should just contact me, Asadah, on social media. Say, Asadah, tell me about Bitcoin, and I can help them understand how to leverage it. They can listen to my webinars every Monday and Thursday on my conference calls. My goal is I'm a teacher, and so I'm going to educate. They call me the crypto queen.
The crypto queen.
Somebody even called me the Harriet Tubman of crypto.
All right.
What?
So
Yes.
you're going to take us there whether we want to go
I'm going to take you to freedom, baby.
You're going to take us to freedom.
If you're willing.
I'm willing.
Okay, good.
I'm willing. So you're going to take us to freedom.
You hear me?
Already
started. That's right. Already started.
Queen.
Crypto queen all
Yes,
day long. So
I've been hearing a lot, and some of you may have heard about Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
So as we go to, someone just told us someone bought some crypto coins for like a few pennies.
Well,
some
Bitcoin used to be a pennies. When I was first introduced to it, it was $10 a coin. But yesterday it was $3,800 a coin, and last year it went up to $19,000 a coin. So if I had bought 10 when it was $10, I would have had $190,000. You know, but it's okay. It's not too late, and you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. We show you how to buy a fraction of it, and then let it build from there. That's what the leveraging is about. So you don't have to keep reinvesting like a stock to get a certain amount. We show you how to leverage it, and next thing you know, you have multiple Bitcoin. So that's what we're working on, and I can attest to it because I pay my bills with it.
All right, you
Sure do.
Okay.
Sure do.
And you look like it. You just look like you're doing fine.
The confidence is fabulous, girl. The
It
confidence
is,
is
yes.
it's real. It's a real thing. My daughter,
Bitcoin.
there are no rules. So my daughter, my 15-year-old, even has a digital wallet, and she has Bitcoin as well.
That's a good thing to get children started so that they can save their own money, make their money for the things that they want, their education,
Yep.
or whatever hobbies that they want to go into. Some of these hobbies are expensive. Hockey, basketball, football,
All of it.
Gymnastics. They can
A 3-year-old just made Bitcoin the other day.
really a 3-year-old.
3-year-old.
And
Her
of
father
course-
running there, but of course she made the money though.
That's right. And then there's so many children that want to give. They want to help others. They have a more of a giving spirit than many adults. So when they make money with
Sure.
Bitcoin, they can help the less fortunate.
They can do whatever they want
the
with it.
homeless. There are so many children that want to do this.
We can help them do it if they have Bitcoin. We'll show them how to leverage it, grow it, and never have to look back again.
And parents, adults, this is your responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite book told me that as a parent, you're to avail yourself of knowledge, and then pass it on. Teach your children and your children's children on to the 4th and 5th generation.
That's what it's about.
Passing it on. And I'm just wondering why it says to the 4th generation. I believe that's because some of you don't live that long. I myself will be here to 122.
Yes, you will. Let's
So-
pass it on to the 7th generation. All right.
That's right. So I will be here to see it.
Yes.
You know, I will still be able to hear. I may have 2 earphones, hearing aids, and double bifocals. Well, oh,
You might not have none
I
of
don't
that.
need to see anything. I don't believe so. But I will be here to see my children's children, at least down to the 5th, 6th generation,
I love that.
and still have a say so in whatever they're
I love
doing.
that postulate. Go ahead, girl.
I believe they're going to listen too.
They will. They'll be
Yes.
listening, and you will too.
I will be too, because
They'll be way advanced. Believe me.
I will be learning. That's
Yeah.
the thing. That's the key with parents and children. You learn from them. We don't know it all. I will admit, children, we don't know it all. We learn from you. That's why we're pushing you to go ahead. Keep rising up. Raise up so you can teach us and carry us with you.
That's right. It's a new day. We better pay attention.
It's a new day. So thank you,
Thank you.
Asadah, for coming on. Thank you so much
I
for your
appreciate
time.
you. No doubt about it.
Asadah Kirkland, Soulful Children's Book Fair and Bitcoin. And I'm Geri Patterson, host of Report to the People, coming to you from the PCC Network, Probation Challenge.
Yep.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Talk to you next time. Peace.
Peace.
Yes. Women.